Starting in May, U.S. Census workers will start knocking on doors and collecting information. And with everything that's been going on with the coronavirus here in Nebraska and around the world, I chatted with the U.S. Census Bureau's Tim Olson about what this could mean for the census.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we are evaluating every day and every hour what is the impact of this pandemic. But right now, we are moving ahead. We are conducting the census. Just last week, we began mailing literally millions of invitations to households throughout the nation. That mailing process continues. We'll complete by this Friday, where every household of the nation will have an opportunity to respond to the 2020 census from the privacy of their home using a smartphone, a laptop, a computer. They can call a phone number or they can fill out a paper form. So we are moving ahead.
What about the workers that are supposed to be coming to people's homes and collecting this information?
In terms of the actual field operation, which would begin in May and go through early July, we're evaluating that very closely. In that evaluation, there may be some delays that we enforce as far as when the actual field operation occurs. Regardless, we will be implementing social distancing, hygiene, and other things to make sure not only are our employees safe, but also the American people is safe, which is both are very high priorities for us.
What do you think it would take for you guys to push back that collection of information by your workers?
At this point, that's really not under consideration. You mean as far as a real significant, like, a future year or something?
Potentially. I mean, anything you said you're going to start collecting in May, having workers go out and collect this information, what would it take for you guys to reconsider that at this point with the coronavirus?
Well, we are evaluating that right now. It will depend on what the conditions are at that time, and it will also depend on what not only national health authorities, but also state and local health authorities are directing us to do, or the American people to do. So there's a lot of factors in there. I think our highest priority is that the American people and our temporary workforce are all safe. We're not going to put anybody in harm's way in our process, but we will have more information to share on that fairly soon.
Given everything that's been going on with the coronavirus, between the health concerns, people having to quarantine, schools being out, are there any concerns on how that would impact the information that you collect for the census?
I don't know that the actual information we collect is going to be impacted. I think the bigger issue is getting as many people as possible to respond on their own, so we don't need to be going door to door. That's the most critical thing. In terms of all of the multiple field operations that make up a census, we're going to do the right thing. We're not going to put people in harm's way. We will modify those field operations as appropriate, and we will let everybody know what's happening.
Olson says this is why it's so important for people to fill out that census info before workers start canvassing. You can respond to the census online, by phone, or by mail.